Hello and welcome to Security Sunday from sysnetshield.com. My name is Patrick, and I'll be guiding you through the events of the past week in the world of cybersecurity. Hackers linked to Chinese intelligence have infiltrated several U.S. telecommunications companies. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, the hacking group exploited vulnerabilities in Cisco routers. U.S. officials have described the espionage campaign, which they blame on a Chinese hacking group known as Salt Typhoon, as historic and catastrophic in scope and severity. The breach affected major U.S. telecommunications companies, including T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. The attack, which lasted more than 8 months, gave hackers access to sensitive information, including call logs and unencrypted text messages. The targets were mostly senior national security and U.S. government officials. The breach, which investigators are still piecing together, represents one of the most significant cyber espionage campaigns in recent years, and its full national security implications are not yet fully understood. Cybersecurity researchers have discovered a critical vulnerability in the PostgreSQL database system that could allow unprivileged users to modify environment variables, potentially leading to code execution or information disclosure. The vulnerability, which is being tracked as CVE 2024-10979, has a CVSS rating of 8.8. Improper control of environment variables in PostgreSQL allows an unprivileged user to modify variables, e.g. path. This is often sufficient to execute arbitrary code even if the attacker does not have sufficient privileges. The bug was fixed in PostgreSQL versions 17.1, 16.5, 15.9, 14.14, 13.17, and 12.21. The Varonis researchers who discovered the problem said that, depending on the attack scenario, it could lead to serious security issues. Further details of the vulnerability are being kept under wraps to give users time to apply fixes. The vulnerability, tracked as CVE 2024-43451, CVSS rating 6.5, relates to an NTLM hash disclosure spoofing vulnerability that could be exploited to steal the NTLM v2 hash. The attack could be triggered by minimal user interaction with the malicious file. A single click or right-click on the file is all that is required, Microsoft said. The Ukrainian CERT UA team has linked the attacks to a Russian threat actor they are tracking as UAC 0194. Israeli firm ClearSky, which discovered the vulnerability in June 2024, said it was being exploited as part of the SparkRat malware attack chain. The company added that the malicious files were placed on an official Ukrainian website that allows users to download academic certificates. The attack chain involves sending fraudulent emails from a compromised Ukrainian government server. The file sent is designed to connect to a remote server and download other useful files, including the SparkRat. Microsoft issued a patch earlier this week. It is recommended that you update your systems as soon as possible. North Korea-linked attackers have been found inserting malware into Flutter apps, the first time the tactic has been used by an adversary to infect Apple devices running macOS. Jamf Threat Labs, which reported the discovery based on artifacts uploaded to the VirusTotal platform, said the apps created in Flutter are part of a broader activity that includes malware written in Golang and Python. We suspect that these particular samples are test samples, and it is possible that they have not yet been distributed, Jaron Bradley, director of Jamf Threat Labs, told the Hacker News. Jamf did not attribute the malicious activity to any particular hacking group, but it is likely to be the work of a subgroup of Lazarus known as Blue Noroff. The link stems from the overlap between infrastructure malware known as Candy Corn and the hidden risk campaign recently highlighted by SentinelOne. The new malware is notable for using the Flutter app to deliver a primary payload while masquerading as a fully functional Minesweeper game. It also appears to be a clone of an iOS game that is publicly available on GitHub. A Vietnamese-speaking hacking group targeting government and educational institutions in Europe and Asia is using a new Python-based malware called PXA Stealer. This malware targets sensitive information, including access to various online accounts, VPN and FTP clients, financial information, and cookies. Cisco Talos researchers said. The connection to Vietnam is evident from the presence of Vietnamese comments and a hard-coded Telegram account called Lone Nun in the attacker's program. The attack that spreads PXA Stealer begins with a fraudulent email containing a zip file with a Rust-based bootloader and a hidden folder containing several Windows scripts and a fraudulent PDF file. Once the zip file is unzipped, the scripts responsible for opening the document are executed. The document contains a Glassdoor job application form. At the same time, PowerShell commands are executed to download and run additional tools capable of disabling antivirus programs running on the host, followed by deployment of the stealer itself. A notable feature of the PXA Stealer is its focus on stealing Facebook cookies and using them to interact with the Ads Manager and Graph API to gather additional account details and related advertising information. Targeting business and advertising accounts on Facebook is a recurring phenomenon among Vietnamese threat actors. Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you liked the content, don't forget to subscribe and like so you don't miss any news. I'll look forward to seeing you next Sunday.